What's up, Topeka? Welcome to the I'm from Topeka podcast, broadcasting straight from the... We're here to bring you the stories of people in the pulse of Topeka. Whether you're a longtime resident or just curious about what makes the city tick, we've got you covered. And sitting across from me today, I got my man...
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike G, independent artist, local Topeka native. It's about the people, baby. And speaking of the amazing people in this city, who we sitting with today, Tev?
We are sitting in the one, the only, Miss Mama J.
Mama J!
You might have seen her. You might have seen her on national TV, you know, on a very almost like a staple in almost everybody's household, the Netflix show, The Trust.
The Trust. A Game of Greed.
A Game of Greed. And man, we got to talk about that because
I'm excited. We've been waiting for this one.
We have been. But no, Mama J, thank you so much for being able to come to the podcast. You know, it's all about highlighting the people and about the people. So this is very important for us, Mike and myself, because we're a fan of you, you know, with the comedy that you're doing.
Good.
So yeah, but thank you again. So I mean, just kind of let everybody know who you are, where you're from, and kind of what you do.
Well, I am Mama J, and I am a stand-up comedian, and I think I have done about 35 shows. And so far, nobody knows who Mama J is.
Wow.
But you guys do.
Oh, yeah, we're fans.
I think a lot more people know than you realize.
Me.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's it.
They're just not at the
They're
club.
just not at the, yeah, there you go.
There
you go.
And, but my name is Jay Patterson,
Gotcha.
and I was born in Topeka, and then we moved back to Topeka when I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
And lived here, moved away at college, came back after a divorce, and then married my third husband, and we moved to Colorado. And then 2019, we moved back to Topeka. And at first, I didn't want to be here, but I'm really glad I am, because I think a lot of things happened that would not have happened had I stayed in Colorado.
Yeah. And that's, man, see, we're getting into it because that's a lot of like what we're doing. Like I was in Texas, you know, if I wouldn't move back here, I mean, I couldn't really truly say I'm from Texas, you know what I mean? Like, and doing all the stuff that we're doing. But being in like a bigger city like Colorado, like you said, or a bigger state, you know, place that's more like attracting to visitors and tourists, and coming back here, it's like seeing like what those cities and what those states are doing, and then seeing it back here in Topeka, and like being that person to be able to be like, hey, this is what we can do, you know, this is what we got going on, is very important. It's very, very important because like I said, I wouldn't be able to do this if I was still in Texas, you know?
Yeah. And we wouldn't have found, and here's the thing. If I was in Colorado, I had no diversity, basically. You know, I was in a very Hispanic community because I lived in La Vida, and it had a lot of Hispanic heritage. But it was a bunch of, a lot of us retired and moved there. And then we lived among the locals and all of that. So it was beautiful and wonderful. But then coming back to Topeka and actually seeing different races. I mean, really. And then getting involved in comedy, I feel so blessed how much diversity I have in my life now. And just like with young people and just everybody, it's just like they accept me, and I love them, and I admire them for their creativity. And it has made me feel young. I mean, I know I'm old, Malik. Malik, she knows she old.
The answer back.
I know I'm old. I tell you, I cracked up.
Oh my gosh. It was I was like, leave it to Malik. Just call it on out.
He had to.
And I love Malik so much. And I just laughed so hard at that. But how I felt honored that you guys even were talking about me, because I feel like that I just have this nice group of people all around me, and we are not judging each other. We don't care what color, how old, nothing.
Yeah.
We just are really appreciating each other for our talents and creativity.
And what we can do. It's all about the community.
It really is.
And coming
in so
together.
many ways.
Yeah, like, Mike, what is it about?
It's about the people.
Man, it's
about the people.
It really is. I mean,
there you go. She's on it. Yeah.
So like moving back from Colorado, like Colorado is beautiful, by the way. Like I, took a few trips there and everything. So what, I know that was I'm sure it was kind of sad, bittersweet, things like that. To take it way back before all that, what got you into comedy? I gotta know. Like, what really got you started?
Okay, so I was not one of those class clowns. Mm-hmm. I don't remember that being my thing in high school. Mm-hmm. But when my 30s, I was on my second marriage and I was drinking and drugging and I had a couple of kids, but they used to have an open mic at Theodore's downtown. Okay. So, and I don't know why. I think I just went there one night and I thought, I could do this. So I had my little jokes and I would go up and do my open mic and people from Stanford's would come over. Stanford, I think it's Stanford's, yeah. Mm-hmm. And anyway, they would comment and I kind of got some good feedback. Yeah. But then, of course, it's like, divorce, drugs. I don't have any business doing this. I got to be at home. I was just in a really bad place. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was the last time I tried it. And then we moved back here and, so one of the things I did during the pandemic, I had a booth at Cobb Valley Rustics. So my whole living room was full of furniture and shit. And I was painting and selling it, stuff like that. And then I had to get a life coach. I was so depressed. I'm in Topeka. Yeah. I don't know. And we're in the pandemic and I really didn't know what to do. And so we worked on it. It was a very prayerful life coaching experience. So in December of 2020, she says, what is something that you've always wanted to do, but you haven't done it? So I'm going, I have done everything. I've had a very full life. Yeah. And she goes, no, Jay.
Yeah. She's not at 30. You have had a full, come on now. Come on.
Yeah. And then I go, well, maybe I could write a book. And she goes, well, what are you going to write a book about? And I go, I don't know, my shitty family and, growing up. And she goes, no, Jay, come on, think about it. And I go, I know what it is. I want to be a stand-up comedian.
There it is.
She says, all right, next week, you have business cards, you have a Facebook page, and you are signed up for a class somewhere.
See,
so
I love people like that, that push, like that, that one person that's like, do it, do this, yeah.
And I did it, and that's was awesome. The blessing, so then we come to the blessing of the pandemic. Yeah. All the classes are online, Zoom. Seriously,
just lined up.
I'm paying, a few $100, taking classes out of New York, taking them out of Second City, just taking zooming. Yeah. And, but what was really funny was, and I was feeling good about my comedy, but when you do Zoom, you don't hear any laughter. So you don't know if you're really funny.
Yeah.
But so my first open mic, so this is January 2021. My first open mic was at Murph's in Lawrence, which is a really fun open mic place. It's late at night and stuff. And I went there and I heard laughter. And I said, this is the first time I've heard anybody laugh at my stuff. So then I knew, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, something's working.
Something's working. Yeah. And then I got hooked in with Top City, Vicky and them. And I just kept doing it. And, I started out, everybody's like, oh, you're so rehearsed. Oh, you're so this, you're so that. Well, I was probably the only one really taking classes, to be honest. I was doing you had to do a lot of writing and rehearsing. And I was just really serious about it. But it was okay. That was good because they said, be more natural. That took me a couple of years.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't come just like you guys, right?
It does not.
You don't. I'd be like, oh yeah, I was a bad Girl Scout, and I bought, so I was kind of like that.
Thinking more than anything. Yeah.
So now I feel like I'm much more comfortable. I love the audience. I love an audience. Yeah. And I'm a show off, and I like the feeding. Like you hear the comic before you, and then you go up because they said something really funny, and then maybe I'll say, "Oh yeah," or I'll say something, and somebody will come up after me and go, "Oh yeah, I know, I remember." Yeah,
feed off that. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
that's awesome.
And I do go in and out. Sometimes I'm like, I suck.
I think that's like with everything. You know what I mean? Like there's times where I'm like making videos and stuff or like doing skits. I'm like, God, really? Like
looking at it like,
Like I'll look back on like videos when I first started. And I'm like, really, bro?
Yeah,
like really? Like
Bro,
why?
like I could have tried a little bit. I could have done a little bit different.
Like I could have done that in one more take, but it was just like, oh, I just put it. You know what I mean? Just put it out there.
Oh yeah,
but,
we put them right on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the hard part.
At some point, you just gotta do it though.
Yeah.
At some point, you're just like, boom, here you go. Here you go.
That's true. It's just like I don't know, because some of my best stuff though, like some of my stuff, like it is that. You know what I mean? Like
you're just like, I'm just gonna.
When I did the first "I'm from Topeka" video on TikTok, y'all can go back and look at that. My hair is nowhere. I did not have a haircut. I was looking like I just threw some clothes on from the closet, and truly, that's literally what it was. Like, we didn't plan it. Like, one day I was just out with Jess, and I was just driving around, and we were like, it's like, hey, stop right here. I want to do something. All right, now go to this spot. I want to do something. Now go to this one. I want to do something. And I was like, oh, I just put it together and just throw it up there. And then it just turned into it. And it's just like, so some of that stuff is like, you just do have to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you getting into comedy. Like, when you, like, it's a true testament, because when you were doing Zoom like shows and you couldn't hear laughter, like most people would have been like, I can't hear laughter. Like, I mean, it's, maybe this isn't for me. But then you still was brave enough to go on a stage. Yeah, and definitely. Go out there and be like, well, maybe I might not hear laughter again. But then you did, and you're like, oh yeah, wow, and just doing it, and you're just gonna do it. So,
and you know what's funny is I have a girlfriend, my friend Becky, and she has been my assistant. So she would go, because when we first started doing this, I don't know how to sign up. You know, it's a thing to sign up for the show, and
whole process. And
so then we go, okay, let's go to the Rhino. So we go to the Rhino, and we didn't know, like, you sign up, but then they tear it up and they're drawing your name. Well, it didn't start till 8:30, and I'm number 30. So we're there till like midnight, and I'm not even on. And so she's recording me, and I'm thinking, but it's so funny because we're getting in the car and we're getting home at 2 a.m. and I go, this is what I read about comedy. Yeah. So then I did a show at the VFW here, over there on Madison. And so I'm there, and it was like a speakeasy and smoking and drinking. I mean, I loved it. Yeah. And Becky went with me. And so she said the next day, she told her dad, she goes, oh yeah, I went with Jay to that VFW over here. And he goes, don't you ever go to that place again. Do you not know there was a murder there last week? And I go, really? Oh my God, I am so living the real comedy life. Seriously, that's what I said. I don't care who's murdered. But it's like, this is what the stories we read about the old comedians coming up. They're in the dives and they're out late at night. And I was enthralled by it. Seriously.
Yeah. And it's still like that too. Like the best comedians will practice their jokes like at the smallest dive bars, and they love that before they hit the bigger stages. So that's just where it goes down. Yeah.
And so this week, tonight I'm going to drive over to Kansas City and go to the comedy club. I love their open mic, and it's another one. It draws. So, I'm either going to be number 8 or number 40. Yeah. But it's okay because they also have really good comics. And so it's fun because sometimes open mics can be a little iffy.
Yeah, definitely. They can be.
But they have a really good one. And because I'm performing at El Fuego Sunday night in Kansas City, so I've got 10 minutes and I've got to have it good. Yeah. No looking at my notes, not thinking. So that's what my focus is this week is. There you go. What's my set going to be? 10 minutes. Let's do it because you're going to be doing it in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. So, awesome. And I have, so anyway.
I love legit, that. Yeah. I love that because, like, even as a musician, like, preparing for these things, like, it's all work, a part of the process of, like, getting past, because at every show I've been to almost, there's been, like, a little bit of an issue sometimes. There's been a couple that have been completely smooth, but, like, when you're dealing with sound and different DJs and things like that, you run into problems. And, learning to also not let that stuff affect, like, your performances, that took me a while to be like, okay, shake that off. It's okay. Keep, stay in the moment. So it's all growth. What you were talking about of just, like, the thinking thing when you first started, and now you're kind of more natural with it. So, it's all a process of growth for sure.
It was funny at the last open mic I went to, this young comedian came up. I don't know, maybe she's in her 20s, and she's got this long blonde hair and this cute figure. She's just adorable. So I have to get up right after her, and I'm like, I just want you all to know that I used to fucking look like that. And I go, she is just so cute, And it's the first thing I said. I go, I'm really kind of sad. I don't know. I might cry, but I did just. Yeah. So then I did my set, and then I go, and let's remember, what did I? And then the audience said, used to be cute. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you know how to work the crowd.
Kind of finding that natural, that word. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't say I do crowd work, because if you do crowd work, okay, so you've said something, and then they might say something, and then I'm going, okay, I just lost my whole set.
Oh, yeah. It takes it's a different type of skill.
Yeah.
Sure,
you can.
You got to be careful.
You involve the crowd, to get them to say, because a lot of people with speaking, because I do public speaking and stuff. So a lot of people don't understand is usually when you come out as a speaker, you need to interact. You got to get the crowd involved. One thing I used to do is I would go up there and be let me get 3 claps, just to start the audience up. So you start with that energy. I did this speech for, what was it? For Cox Communications for our business down in Wichita. And we ended up, it was I applied the week before, for this to win money for the business. Didn't think nothing of it. Well, they immediately responded and was hey, we want you as a contestant. So I was oh, now I got to write a speech, and now I got to do all this stuff telling people about the business. Well, then I go down there and I'm okay, I know I always got to interact with the crowd. So I did the 3 claps, and it got them hyped before I started speaking. So for you to say at the end, and remember when I used to, and they say, you used to look like that, or, so that's important. You know what I mean? Because that's
really
what gets people, it gets
paying
people
into involved, they're a part of the show instead of just feeling it's all about you up there.
It's
and
all about
kind of
you
watching
up
you.
there.
Yeah. And that's a skill that takes time too, to learn how to do that, without making it awkward or not doing what you hear everybody else do. Some of the most, I'm not going to say, some of the most awkward call and responses I've seen. And it's you know what I mean? It's just people, but they've seen other people do it, and you can just tell they're just kind of doing that because they've heard that. But it takes a while to come into your own. So.
For sure.
Well, and when I was taught, okay, number one, first is the microphone, which all of my first videos, the stand is right in front of me, and I'm kind of tripping around it. Yeah. So it's move, take the mic out, put the mic stand behind you, and don't say, "What's up, Topeka?"
Yeah.
They say, go right into your set.
Yeah.
And and which is fine. Everybody can do their own thing. But I mean, that's how I was taught. You go right into your set, because I don't need the audience to feed back to me by saying what's up. That's just in comedy. That's not everything. But
I was gonna say, because I'm always what's up, Topeka? I love saying that, but that's different though.
Yeah, let's
and
go.
I'm going, no.
Yeah.
She's no.
Mom Jay's
not
going,
that. Yeah.
She said, I'm not gonna say what's up back. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, this is the new thing. I'm just going right into the music. I don't care about speaking. No, but that was some of the stuff, that I learned in the classes. And that's where, and a lot of people have natural, we have some great young comics coming up in Topeka. I am really impressed with them, and they do work hard, and they're writing, and it's been exciting. But one thing, and I don't know if you guys think about this, I really wish once a month, Malik and Chucho.
Yeah.
Shout out Chucho and Malik.
Jawan, you guys. Jawan. Me and Jawan. Oh, guess what? So I did not understand. He's my go-to guy for stuff I don't understand.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why T-Rail said no white T-shirts at the club.
At his lounge thing. Yeah.
And you know what? You know what it is? It's because if people would spill something on their white T-shirt, it could turn into a fight. You spill, you bump into somebody and then you got it. And he said, I thought, how interesting is that? And it totally makes sense, but I'm always spilling my own shit on my white shirt.
Right? But I spill it on different color shirts anyway.
It should have popsicle on,
right?
But anyway, so Jawan and I can always say, I just don't understand this. And then we've got the Culture Festival coming.
For the culture,
So you're going to love this story. So I was at the Culture Festival last year, and you know how they have all these great clothes and everything. So I bought a dashiki, I guess. I loved all the colors, and I loved the lady who made them all. I'm just impressed. So then a couple weeks later, I went to the comedy club to see Punky Johnson from Saturday Night Live. You know who she is?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not
If
like
I saw her, I probably would.
I don't know everything she does, but I've
But
seen
you
her
know
on
who
Saturday
she
night.
is,
Yeah.
And so it was kind of it was her and another it was like three ladies, black comedians. Well, then after the show, she said something so funny and I so related to it. So I kind of wrote a note and I was just going to have it sent back to her.
Yeah.
Well, she was out in the hallway. So I gave her my note and she started laughing. And then we started talking for a minute. And I go, oh, yeah, I'm a comic too. And I said, I just loved when you said that. She goes, oh, you're a comic? She goes, you want to do a quick 5 before my second show? And I'm like, I go, I've got a 5. I said, I just did 5 last night. You know, I actually had a set in my head. And she goes, yeah, let me check on her. But yeah, come on. So then I'm back in the green room with her and Hillary, who's the tall blonde from Saturday Night Live. She lives in Overland Park. Oh. And anyway, they're back there. So I'm back there with all these Saturday night and they're talking about they just came from Chappelle's party and all of this stuff. I'm just listening, right?
Yeah.
So then they introduced me and the lady goes, yeah, and here's this white woman with a dashiki on.
Oh, no.
I laughed.
She was like, yeah, you got a quick 5, but you are the 5.
That is no. She said, we're about to make you the joke. Watch.
Exactly. Here you go, people. Yeah, here's this white woman with her dashiki.
Such a warm welcome.
Yeah.
Such a warm welcome.
It was so
that's
funny.
hilarious.
It was so funny. So then I see that the culture festival's
I gotta go get my other dashiki now.
There you go. Let's go. I better see you. I hope to see you there with that. Come on.
Yeah.
I gotta take a picture with you with that.
Got to. That's hilarious.
So that was honestly, that just made my day, and I did my little 5, and thanked her and all that. But but here's the thing. So regarding like my TV, being on TV, doing this in front of her, I've had a couple other moments of kind of, oh, this could be something, right? Nothing is ever something. Nothing ever becomes something. Mm-hmm. You think, okay, well, Punky's going to remember me from Comedy Club and then blah, blah, blah. No. And then I got to be okay with that stuff.
Yeah. It's humbling in a way.
It's humbling and it's okay. You know what? Why can't I just say that was such a special moment to have?
A lot of people won't ever have that moment either. No. You know what I mean? So,
and it was. So now I have, instead of being, oh, I wish this, now it's like, that was a special moment. Being on the Trust was a special moment. No, just because I was funny in the interviews, I'm not going to be on the comedy shows. I'm not going to be on Jimmy Fallon. Steve Colbert is not going to call me, even though those were my fantasies. Mm-hmm. My fantasies was something could come from this because look at the feedback I got and look at this. No.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, like you said, like you used to look into oh, this is gonna be the next thing, like I've done some like videos and pictures and stuff like that for some very famous people, like Mike's seen like the Tory Lanez, Jacquees, like I've done pictures and stuff. Yeah, Mike G. Oh yeah, for sure.
Mike G.
But you know what I mean? Like that's my dog. So wherever that is my moment.
Dog.
So
that's your moment.
Don't
come on, bro.
That's the reason why like we still connected, bro.
Shameless plug.
They gotta, but no, but yeah. So, but when you look at it like, oh, this is gonna be the moment. This is what's gonna send me to the next person. When you unattach, is when everything really starts to come through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
When you stop trying to control everything and just kind of like flow with things.
And be in the moment.
That's it.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
And also, also big lesson. Because I have a mentor, my friend Joel Marshall, that I'm a co-host on Lunch Therapy with him. Yeah. I mean, that's something that has grown from a friendship to now I'm a co-host once a month and I get to be me and do a little comedy. But one time he has interviews with really well-known comedians and people and writers, very talented. And I said something about Joel. I said, do you ever get jealous, or do you ever think about like, oh, look at what they're doing? And they said to me, it was him and another guy, and they go, no. He goes, you have to give everybody blessings for what they're doing, and you can't be jealous. You can't be, you have to be happy for everybody for what they're getting, even though you might not be getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that I have to go, because I was telling Tevin about some down under stuff being with this Netflix thing.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of
honesty,
speaking of like, you don't have to go into like what we talked about off camera, but just talk about like a little bit of that. Like, like how was that? Like, how did you get into, was comedy before the Netflix show or was comedy? Okay.
Comedy was, and that's how I got in because of another lady comedian who lives in Kansas City was on Joel's show.
Oh,
okay. And then I mentioned to her, I'm in Topeka. She's coming to Kansas City to perform and she knows Joel. And Joel says, hey, would you interview Kim while she's there? So I go over and I do an interview and, we watch the show and there we go. Well, then that is who cast me for the Trust because they needed a seasoned woman. And she says, you just came to my mind immediately. But it was that little step. Hey, I'm going to come over, watch you. Can I do a quick interview? I mean, and she's very friendly and all, Yeah. And so that's all it took was that little step. Joel, Kim, interview, Trust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So then, we go into the Trust and, we have to be secretive. Nobody can know where I'm at. And I knew, it's funny, some of the people didn't know until like a week ahead of time they were on it. I knew for almost 3 months that this was happening. And Denny, he was so funny because he said, I'm just telling people you're on a comedy retreat. That's what he told people because he couldn't tell people. And let me give my husband a shout out.
Shout him out.
Shout him out.
Shout him out, Den Boo.
Den Boo. Shout out Den Boo.
Shout out Den Boo. Let's go.
He is the best husband, and he is behind every endeavor that I get involved in. 100%.
That's so great to have that support.
No,
that's amazing.
Yeah, none of this. Oh, you're gone again, or what are you, and what about me? He is there.
Yeah.
He's just the best. And so anyway, he had to cover for me. And then, and then the show comes on. And then he's the one who we go places. And he would go, well, this is Mama J. And this, and they're all, he's great.
That's awesome.
So that's how that came around. Just by that one little, well, look at me. I'm on the head of your podcast, Mama J.
Yeah.
Just by that little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's those things.
I didn't say, hey, put me on the.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, and what I want to touch on with what you're saying is, to me, I truly believe I believe it's God's will for our life. Now, we all are definitely created for something different. And if we start to, like, that jealousy and that envy, what that does is it knocks us off of that natural path. And then it does that. Like, every natural thing can knock you off of that. So these little moments that led you to these bigger things might not have happened if you would have just been like pushing for like, well, hitting those people up. Well, can I be on this show then? Or that could have just ruined some things.
Exactly. So, you just, and like, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying, last night, Winnie's my friend from the Trust, and her and I were commiserate. We call it commiserate. Every now and then we got to commiserate a little bit. And my husband.
Does that involve a little bit of alcohol? Or?
No, I don't drink. I don't drink.
Cool.
30. I didn't know how many years sobriety I had, because I couldn't subtract 1986 from 2024, and I thought maybe it was like 32 or something. Yeah. And my friend goes, "Jay, you got 38 years."
Wow! Congratulations!
So this is all straight.
So what do you guys do if you don't gotta get too many details with that? So what do you guys?
We're going. Did you see this on Instagram, or did you see that, or did you know they had another Netflix party that we weren't invited to? Baby, I saw it.
Like everything we've been left out of and no one's reaching out.
Exactly.
We go on for about a half hour. Then my husband goes, will you get over it?
Oh, man.
Maybe not. But I have
let me vent.
and I have somebody to do it with. And we really help each other, because I'm not saying it has had some painful moments.
For sure.
Talk about not being included. What happened? How come they don't like me? How come they like them? So see, I've had to go up and down this year with that. And
social media can cause that problem too. It can make it's tough.
It's
tough. You can really start thinking like that.
And it sounds shallow, but once you're in it, because you are seeing the Netflix events. Had I not been on the show, I would not know anything was happening. And so then your question, so like I said, it's been I've had to increase my medication. Mm-hmm. I had to start going to therapy. I had, I kind of felt, I've been on antidepressants since the mid 90s, and I kind of had to keep going. I know better than this. Mm-hmm. I know better than this. But see, like I could cry, but it was like, it was just too much. It was too much for me and my mental health, bottom line. Yeah. And that's not to say it wasn't a good experience, but it was an experience that was tough on me because, number one, I didn't know things are I didn't know about reality shows. Yeah. All I ever watched were the get married ones and stuff like that. So to be in an environment that people are kind of after you. And so, that's when we talking about, I just want to see some fucking whales. I mean, that was the truth.
You just want to get away. That's what I was telling you. Like before we started the podcast is sitting here talking, we were like, I was saying I didn't really watch the show because I seen from the very beginning, like, it's drama filled. Yeah. Like I watched the scenes for you. Yeah. But like a lot of the other stuff, I was like, I don't care to like even pay attention to this just because it's like, I don't like drama. Like my wife, Jess, and she's not a drama filled person either, but sometimes she'll gossip about some stuff that's going on, like that's happened. And like some stuff, like it is messed up, like that stuff that's happened to like us or something that's gone on. And I'm just like, it is what it is. Keep pushing, and she's like, but this, and I'm just like, I don't even care to like think about it no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, and that's the thing, like, that's what, like, I think you would be so much better, like, on a different reality show, like, just like probably like a day in your life, type that's reality show. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because like that drama, it just wasn't like, that's just not your personality. It's just not who you are.
Well, it shows. That's what's so crazy. Not sorry to interrupt you, but like sometimes we think like, oh, if I get to this moment, this is gonna be it. New levels, new devils. You get there and you're like, oh wait, this came with this. So this came with this.
And I'm not. My social media is all about what I do, what I make, what I sew, what I volunteer. That's my social media. Yeah. A lot of it is they're walking around in a new dress or walking around with some music. There's that. I got. I can't do that. Yeah, that's not me. Not you. Yeah. And I'm not going to ever get. I said, I'm so thrilled that I have 2,000 Instagram followers, and I started at 0.
You got more than me.
Yeah.
You got more than me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's huge. Yeah.
It's
and
growth.
You started and that's growth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And your vibe will attract your tribe. I mean, we've all heard that, but I think that's truly what it is. Is like you're not going to get the people that just want the drama, or if you do get those people that just want the drama, they're going to look at your page and be like, oh yeah, I don't want. And that's good because you don't want that because you're not one of those ones that entertains that. So. It is a blessing in disguise, like you going through the show and, you getting, where you were, people know who you are and everything like that. But just the drama that like came with it and stuff like that, I just felt like it was just like, it's nice. It's so dumb.
It was hard and it pushed a lot of my buttons, which was seen. And that's what the people who have watched the show and come on go, you were so real. You were so real. And I was because you're not seeing the stuff when stuff shut down. Yeah. And it's like, no.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was a lot for me. And that was because of who I am and my age. And I do speak up for rights. You're not, we're not doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I felt good about that. And I feel good that I did the show. But I thought, so this is what I said. I kind of did a video on. So how about if we have a show that maybe we can show the women are kind of smart.
Yeah.
Because all of the reality shows, everybody is so shallow. And it's not that they are. They're not. They're talented women.
It's just what the reality show is.
That is what they're making them come out like they don't have a brain, and they do. Yep. And I wish they would say, hey, enough of the swimsuits and this, can we not talk about something real? Yeah. But until somebody says it, and I say it all the time, and I did it in that video, go, come on. And I even said it about the girls. I'm not being jealous of them. I'm saying, do you not know that these women have careers? We would not know that.
Who are they? Yeah, like outside of this show.
That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Like,
And it's like, okay, so why can't we really have a real reality show?
There we go. There we go. So, well, that wouldn't sell as much.
No,
you know,
of course
and then
it
what?
wouldn't.
So when you went through that, right? Like what? Because we're tried and tested. My gift, I've been tried and tested. I've had things happen to where I'm like, looked myself dead in the mirror and talked to my, like, are we gonna keep like,
yes,
what is this?
Yeah,
anymore?
yeah.
Like, are we gonna keep doing this? Like, what kept you going down the comedy route after you like experienced that? And I know that was kind of maybe a doubtful time frame for you. So what kind of got you back to being like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing comedy.
Yeah, I was still. Well, what's funny is that number one, after it came out, because once again, I come home in March. The show doesn't come on January. I can't talk about it. So there's a lot of secrecy, or you say something and then you almost feel paranoid because it's like, does Netflix did they got something on my phone that I'm you know,
they
because
listening to the TV or something. Yeah,
well,
right.
and you're threatened. You're not. No, I don't. Threaten's a strong word, but you are told if you do this and this and this, you're not going to get your money. And I had won money, right?
Yeah.
So you can't this and you can't, which I respect. They want it to be a surprise, right?
Yeah.
But then you see. Then you watch it and then you see, well, some stuff is going on. How come they still got their money? You know, so that didn't matter.
Yeah.
So then you start seeing none of it really mattered. It was fun. So then now I was so excited. I thought everybody in Topeka would have watched The Trust. And I have a whole set about it, right? So I go, hey, first off, I says, how many of you know I'm Mama J from The Trust? Have you guys watched that? And they'll go, not one hand will go up. So then I start laughing. Yeah. And then I'll go, well, there goes that set. And,
Let's crumble that up.
Yeah, but I just stayed with it because that's my thing. And but I did have much more up and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Afterwards. Yeah, I really, and it's you question your mental health. It's like, why is that a big deal?
Yeah,
why is this making you sad? Or why is this? Because maybe some of it was I embarrassed on the show for anything? Not really. You know?
Yeah.
No, I didn't feel ashamed for anything. But I just don't know. I guess I can't. It's just you'd have to experience it.
Yeah. So you said you left the show in March and it didn't come out until January?
Came out in January.
Wow.
And we got emails in December that they were going to start having promotions. So then we could say just a little. So then I'm having a watch party, right?
Yeah.
For the first, they showed the first couple of episodes. Well, then that turned into a thing. There was something we couldn't say. So then I had to change some wording on my face, and all of that. But the watch party was really fun. I had about 100 people come, and people were taking pictures with me. And, that's where I kind of thought everybody, this is what I thought.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to be walking through the airport.
Yeah.
Mama J. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to walk in the coffee shop and they're going to name a cup of coffee after me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It was zilch. Nobody. I've never gotten any.
So you're like, I did this big, huge thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's you. I mean, that's
knows.
like I said, it's a staple in almost every American's household. Like Netflix is on pretty much everybody's TV.
Or it's a fantasy of somebody wanting to be on TV.
Yeah.
But there's also, I think, so much though on Netflix.
Yes.
There is.
Now
There's
so much to sift through too. So it's one of them things you find it though. It's a gym, and it's like, oh, there's Mama J.
But honestly, I was not. They told me, "Do you watch reality shows?" And I go, "No." They go, "Well, you need to watch Big Brother."
Oh,
to get a feel of what is with people in the house. And I kind of did that, but I did that while I was on the island waiting to go to the mansion. So see,
I need to watch this.
Like let me see what's going on here. Hold up.
What is it that I'm going? Ew, I think people are going to talk behind my back.
Yeah, that's when you realize, like, oh shoot.
And what's funny is, so the scene where I'm in bed eating the snacks,
Eating the chips.
Well, what would happen? I would get up. Because I'm a wanderer at night.
Yeah.
Well, so I would go downstairs and get on the divan and listen to the ocean and get me some chips. And so there was a guy, I literally had a camera was right there looking at me. So he would see me get up. So then he'd walk out there and he'd go, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And we'd talk. And like we talked about the bird of a different feather.
Yeah.
And that was a real learning thing. He goes, Jay, you got to remember where you're from and where he's from. He's down on a ranch. He doesn't see people. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know things that you do. And so when he said that, he was probably just saying he was different. I mean, and I had to, because I tend to not look, I want it to be, this is my way. He meant that. No, he probably meant it in a different way, and you're taking it that way. And so me and him would just have these talks at night, and he was helpful with me on letting me see that, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, then I go, can I just sleep down here? I really want to hear the ocean. He goes, no, they really don't want you sleeping on the couch down here.
He said, I'm trying to just enjoy the vacation aspect too. Like, come on.
Let me see if there's any nighttime whales.
Let me just be out here. So did y'all have to like be in the room by a certain time or something? Or
No. You were on a schedule. People always wonder, is it scripted? Is it this? No, that what is scripted is, okay, today is swimming pool day. Okay. Today is we're doing the hockey thing, So we would have certain times. But also you are mic'd at all the time you are mic'd. But if you were unmic'd, you couldn't talk to each other. So we might all be in our room, but we could not. And even if you're whispering, they had these girls and it was like, they'd say ice, ice, ice. And they would really, because nobody would ever shut up, right? Including me. We were always trying to get a word in, you know? And so you had to be quiet because they don't want you saying anything. Because if you've noticed on some of these shows, people are going behind corners and talking, and now they're confessing it. Like they're manipulating the game. So that's why they do it. But anyway,
that's so complicated.
I
would not.
I never thought that.
Oh, and another thing that's fun is I always had that colorful shirt on and my khaki pants. I would have to put that outfit on about 3 times because they would have to tape you like it was that day.
Oh, yeah.
Not that, is that being scripted? No, but it's like they want to make it continuous because this happened. Now, Jay, this happened yesterday. How do you feel about that? But I would have to have that outfit on like it was that day. That was interesting. The whole thing was interesting. I mean, we're in this mansion and it is mics and floating those little airplane things, flying
Drones
around.
And
And it was really interesting. And then, the only other thing that might be scripted is like, you have to walk down the steps, Well, it would be like, okay. And I had I kind of have a bad back. So, I'm holding on to the rocks. I'm holding on to the rocks going like this. And they go, Jay, can you kind of maybe move over to the center? I mean, it was always stuff like that. It was so funny. And I, I'm trying not to be the decrepit old lady. And then it's like one day I'm in the pool and I thought, okay, I'm going to just, it's like from here to the couch. I'm going to swim over there. Oh, shit.
Kind of cramp. Kind of cramp.
So going down.
Give me some CPR, please. Hurry. Yeah. It was. I was so uncool, and all the ladies, all these outfits they had on, and I literally had on my dresses from Amazon and a couple of white T-shirts.
There you go. Keep it simple.
There you go.
Like that.
Yep.
And I'm trying to pack light, and oh my God! And so then it was me and Gaspar, the other comedian. He's going like, we did not get we didn't get a message somewhere.
They
said the season. They said just bring the season, lady. Just tell her to come on.
Just
let her do her thing.
And what's funny is my roommates were Lindsay, Bryce, and Gaspar. There was 4 of us in a room, and so that was cool. We were all sharing the bathroom, but that was fun that you kind of get to know people that way, and so and the Lindsay thing, that was for real. That, and you didn't see. If they would have shown the shock of me I'm sitting on the bed and she's putting her makeup on, and she goes, "Well, are you going to vote somebody off tonight?" I go, "Yeah, Jake." And she got right up and walked right into his room, and I went,
"Wait, no!"
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Wait a minute, I was playing.
I didn't mean to say that.
I'm going, and so I went, "Oh my God!" All of a sudden, you know how you get those moments? I was like, oh, I haven't been paying attention. And then I walked down to Winnie and Tolu's room, and I walked in there and I said, "Are you guys my friends?"
Just
What's real? What's not?
I'm kind of just checking.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, Mama J. Well, so then I'm mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get on, I'm mic'd, and I go, Karen, I says, I want this message to go out right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am no longer Mama J.
Yeah.
I am just J. And they go, okay.
Just like, wait a minute.
Like, all right,
Like,
gotcha.
wait a
All right,
minute.
And so
Jay.
then that's the pool table night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's everybody saying Jay. They're not saying Mama J.
Yeah.
They're going, Jay.
Then you
I
said
knew
put some
I
respect
was-
on my name.
Yeah.
You
I
got
knew
him.
I knew I was out of there.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was like nobody was talking to. I mean, really, people would leave the
The whole
room.
vibe just changed. You knew.
Oh.
You knew. Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy. So yeah. So then what was funny, I'm at the pool table. They all hate me. They're not giving me any cards. And then she goes, well, Jay's going to go to the vault. And I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
And, but they had just won $25,000, whatever. And then I go to the vault and they give me $25,000. I thought, well, there we go.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Turn up. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Take
that
that.
was so, I was just like, I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
She goes, oh, you're not going to think? I go, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's all. That's peace.
Peace
out.
and out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't care. I couldn't say, oh yeah. And then it's all clandestine. You're sneaking around in this dark. You got to get in the van and you got to drive.
Yeah.
You're in the mountains and it's like you're with somebody you don't know.
You're like, am I gonna make it?
Mhm.
Gonna make
Okay,
it back?
am I going over the border to Haiti now?
Yeah.
Am I being trafficked?
They say, yeah, we're gonna give you the
Hold
real
on to that
vault.
money
Yeah.
tight. Like,
the
hold
real
on.
vault. We're taking you to the real
Yeah.
vault. Yeah.
We just heard you want some money and we're going to kidnap
Oh, yeah.
you so that you got to give it to us.
There it is, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow,
So,
that's, what an experience. though.
yeah, it was a wild ride.
was.
Wild
It
ride
was.
for sure.
It was and it's almost like you're there. In fact, after a few months, because, you can't talk about, you can't do anything, or you can't talk to the other people.
Mhm.
And I'd call Becky. I go, did I go somewhere in March?
Yeah.
Oh man. So to remind me what happened.
Yeah.
Did I do
what
something?
happened? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, moving
What
forward,
happened?
like so you went through all that. You're doing a lot of stand up now. I know you're at Top City Comedy quite a bit. What is your goal like with comedy the next few? Are you just kind of moving forward doing the open mics still? Like, do you have one specific goal in mind, or?
No, I really, to be honest, I'm very blessed. I have met a lot of goals that I didn't anticipate. Some of your goals is you want to be a paid comedian.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been paid many times. So I do but the open mics are really good, especially starting out with new material.
Yeah.
So my goal was, okay, I want to get paid. I hope I get paid. Well, I have. So for instance, so Friday night, I'm doing a mystery improv.
You hear the guard dog just going
There's
down,
the guard
going
dog. He's
crazy.
coming
Guard
in.
dog's going crazy. Sorry.
That's
Go ahead.
okay. So Friday night, I'm doing an improv with two other ladies, and I know both of them, and we're doing a dinner theater improv, which is really fun, and that's a paid gig. And then Sunday night, I'm at El Fuego, and that's a paid gig. And but you know what? Honestly, when we kind of were talking earlier about, I'm just seeing what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I always have my show with Joel, Lunch Therapy. And if you ever get a chance, watch that, because what that is a live. I'm on live.
Yeah.
And then, you can listen to it later, but I'm on live at 2:00 Central Time.
Yeah.
And it's him and I, and it's like what we're doing. He'll be saying something and I'll say something, and then we crack each other up.
Yeah.
It's conversation, but then sometimes I'll have a weird animal, or like last year I had videos of cicadas coming out of their shells.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm always doing, or my kitty.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have a little stand-up thing. So it's just for fun. It's just bantering. And so I kind of have a little following from that. But, if that's all it is, if all I do is do that once or twice a month, and I've got my little shows, because I'm really all of a sudden kind of wanting to be at home
Yeah.
and sewing. I'm kind of all of a sudden, all of that's kind of coming into me again. So, yeah, I just feel like I really kind of like where I'm at now. No, I gave up. So basically, I gave up on the big dreams.
Yeah.
You realize it's not going to happen.
For sure.
Netflix is not going to invite me to their party. And you know what? I'm over it. I'm okay. I'm meditating in the morning. My mind is clear. And I'm doing cool things with you guys.
Yeah,
you know what?
absolutely.
You're making an impact. I want you to really know that.
And I still hope that I would like to see all of it, our creatives get together.
Me too. I foresee something
like once
future,
a month.
definitely.
Let's get together and what's happening and how come we can't get an audience and how can you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can we do to encourage everybody?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really try, I'm sharing your stuff and I try to always share people's stuff when I can. And I think that's what it's about too. So I'm perfectly happy being in Topeka.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, I'm happy you're here. We'll get to see you more. We'll get to do these things. Like I'm going to check out your comedy though. I'm going to show up.
Please. Yeah, and I know that and I do know you guys are busy. Okay. I'm going to send you the dates. Okay. I have 4 ladies in Manhattan, and we are called the Queens of Midwest Comedy. I think that's our name. I can't remember. But anyway, we sell out over in Manhattan, like 90 people, seriously.
Nice.
And I love them. I mean, we're just a nice little group. We're going to be performing on August 15th at the Foundry.
The day before my birthday.
Okay.
Let's go.
So come for your birthday.
Yeah.
So I will send that. If you could come to that show and then just see the group of us.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun.
Send us the date.
I will.
Yes, please do.
And I'll actually be hosting. And when you host a comedy show, you kind of do a little 5.
Yeah.
And then you might say a joke in between. Like I'll go, oh yeah. And
Yeah.
Like my latest joke I did, and this was true. I did open mic and I was ironing my pants I was going to wear over there, and I ironed my stomach because it got because I'm always talking about this weight gain I got going on.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be a fun show because they're known in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So let's bring it to Topeka and see what happens.
Definitely.
And we really want to promote that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll help promote it.
I'll send you. I'll send it. Yeah. You guys will like it. They're really great ladies. And but that's really cool. Once again, just a kind of group of younger ladies, and I'm part of it.
Yeah. There you go. That's awesome.
It gives me, I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's awesome. But it's just a community, It's that collaboration of coming together.
Really
like that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like as we kind of close out and everything, I mean, you've been to Colorado, you went to the El Dorado for college and things like that. And you're back here in Topeka. What's your favorite memory or favorite thing about Topeka?
I will say, and this was fun because I was listening to the mayor last night and I thought, okay, one thing I really want to talk about, 2 things.
Yeah.
So we moved from Ohio. My family was we were kind of upper middle class for a while because my dad worked for IBM, but he was also an alcoholic. And so he lost his job. And how we ended up back up in Topeka is he moved back here to sober up. Okay. So then we moved from our big fancy home in Ohio back to here living on Maryland, renting a house, right? Yeah. Well, I don't understand all that at the time.
Shout out to East Side.
Shout out Highland Park.
Yeah, there you go.
But I remember my mom saying, now when we move to Topeka, there are going to be people that are a different color than you because I was in a very white world. And I go, okay. And so I remember I'm in 4th grade. My first boyfriend named Leon.
Yeah.
And he was so cute. And I'm saying, oh, Leon, I think he rode his bike over to my house one day or something. Yeah. She goes, what's this? And I'm like, well, that's Leon. That's my boyfriend. And she's like, I don't think so. I didn't mean that, But my friends, and Highland Park, if you remember, Highland Park was divided on Adams, Pierce Division, Highland, and then the Highland Park. Pierce Division, that was, how do you say it? That's where Black people lived. And look this up. A lot of the people over there didn't have running water. My best friend, I went to her house. I thought her house was so cool because it was black. Yeah. It was tar paper. Pierce Division. I think it's kind of a shameful thing in history. Yeah, when you used to go down 17th Street, you'd see newspapers on people's windows because, stuff. It was very poor. But if you didn't ever go over there, you didn't know that. But I remember there was somebody in my class that, she didn't smell good. And come to find out, she didn't have water. We're in Topeka. Yeah. So you got to know that little bit about them.
Definitely.
So anyway, but a fun thing was we would walk, like you're walking around Topeka. Yeah. We would walk everywhere. And then my neighborhood kids, we'd get on the bus on Saturday morning, go downtown Topeka, go to the Capitol, go to the tunnel, run over all the way over to the state office building, run all the way up the stairs, look out the windows.
Yeah.
So fun. And then we would also walk to Lake Shawnee and ride horses.
Oh, hey, nice.
Seriously. I mean,
that's really cool.
And we just walked. There was no fear. There was nobody's going to kidnap you. It was really fun. That's awesome. So that is my favorite memories of those times.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's really
bring
cool.
back the horse riding at Lake Shawnee.
I'm terrified of horses. Though. They know it when you're scared. It's
when you're scared.
And,
well, you know, my dad, though, one thing cool about my dad, if I wanted to do something, then I had to take a lesson. And so I actually took horseback riding lessons out at Lake Shawnee. And I'll never forget the first time, instead of, you're going this.
Yeah.
And the first time that I was cantering and you're doing this. I remember. I get goosebumps again.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
so those were favorite. Those,
great
but
memories.
I really wanted to leave. I was a big drinker. I was big, I was a lot of bad things in my high school years, and I thought, okay, I'll move away and be a different person, and then I just turned into a worse person.
think it's
mom and dad aren't around, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez,
I'm
gonna go to a different state and just go crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's a while here. You got to kind of you got to go through that sometimes and realize like, this ain't what I thought.
And I do thank God, and this is bottom of my heart, that I lived. There's a thing about living long enough that you've made your mistakes, but then you're able to atone for your mistakes. A lot of people die and leave wreckage, and their kids are suffering, their family suffers still.
It's such a blessing.
It is a blessing that now you try to be as best as you can, like you guys are. You know, we want to be the best person. We don't have to be whoever we were. And I tell you, I was kind of slutty drunk. I'm not that
we
anymore.
all have past. Like
we all have past. So I feel very blessed that I found AA, that I found that community, that now I'm here, that I get to do this, that I have a brain. Because you get in your 70s, there's a lot of fear. I just buried a really good friend a couple of days ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was very sad. But, that's why you got the meaning of life becomes much more important each decade.
Yeah.
Amen.
Mama J, that's what's so important. And you're inspiring because like you still are striving, you're still stepping out, you're still laughing, you're still getting in community. I think the way the book of life is pushed, like when you get to this age, it's this. When you get to this age, it's this. When you get to this age, you just got to stay at home and just stay at home, chill, relax. Like, and so that's what I love. That's very inspiring to me. And to, I'm sure a lot more people than you realize that are looking up, that are just have that fear of like, oh, I'm getting older. Like, what am I going to do? You're inspiring people. Like, keep going. Like,
for sure.
Don't let an age stop you. Like,
and I got
going.
a lot of shit wrong with me. I coughed too hard on a cruise and fractured a vertebrae in my back. And I'm still waiting. Yeah, I'm still waiting to get that fixed. Yeah. But even, and people will say, they go, Jay, you're always talking about your stomach, your back, this, but you keep going. I go, well, if I didn't, I would be in bed. And the same, and I want to say about you guys at your age, I was a complete wreck. I'm just telling you, to watch young people and what you're achieving instead of being out there starting a fight or, just sitting doing nothing. I'm impressed with you guys.
Thank you.
And you're inspiring. And I just love what you're doing. I love the whole Topeka thing. And it's just, I love it. It just brings me joy to watch it. And I'm loving that. I'm watching the podcast. I just think you guys are great interviews because you let me blah, 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 blah. And you guys are sitting there like listening.
It's about the people. But no, like hearing that, like that's the reason why we love doing this, because I love to hear people's stories and I love to hear people, what their thought is on different things and stuff. So like our podcast, we can go, honestly, we can have like 2-hour conversation, 3-hour conversations. It's so hard to wrap things up in an hour because it's like, I want to know more. But no, we appreciate you for supporting and appreciate you watching and, being a part of it as well. So
definitely.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys. I was really excited that I got to be on here because now I got to go when you're a 71. Now I got all this weird dental shit. Your teeth get old.
Yeah.
So I got to go deal with my old teeth, and I'm hoping I'm trying to keep them. I really don't want to have false teeth yet.
There you go.
Hey, they look good.
Still look good. You got a good smile.
They're well. Look at this chip. Isn't that weird? That's an old age. I don't know what.
It could be from the Lays. Could
be from the microphones.
There you go. That too. Well, where can everybody find you at on social media and everything?
Well, okay. So this is an interesting thing. If you do Mama J and then put trust, you'll see me on Instagram and on TikTok. I might be Mama J on Facebook because that's one thing I had to do. If people were going to find Mama J, I had to change my name. So, but I am Jay Patterson. You can also do that. And then I'm on YouTube. You can look up Jay Patterson. I think I'm Mama J on YouTube. So I got a lot of YouTube clips. And so that's where I'm at.
That works.
If you get like a 200 notifications, it's me just liking every. I'm gonna come to your page. Just
just go crazy, showing the love.
Just letting you know,
showing the love.
Yeah, because it is hard. It's if people are, and then every now and then I'll look at something, and it's the same on lunch therapy. Like the other day, Joel and I, we were messaging about we got this many looks on this, and I go, guess what? The last time I was on, we got 1,000. We got 1,000 viewers.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, we're famous.
Yeah. Growing. Social media presence is real.
It's hard. It's hard, and I had to let go of that.
Yeah,
things weren't.
You have to.
It'll grow. Like one day I woke up and I had 500 new followers, and I was like,
that's how it goes.
I don't know. Like I don't know how that happened, but I would just let it go because I was like, oh, grow, and it just happens. But no, thank you for being on the podcast.
Guys. I love you.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you. And go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna make sure I'll send you that time because that could be a date you guys could maybe make it. Okay.
Yeah, if I can plan way ahead, I'll try my best to get there.
Okay, let's do that. I'll just do that. That'll be a good show.
That works perfect.
For sure. Sounds like
thank you again. And make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, comment who we should have on the podcast next, and hit that bell notification so you never miss an I'm From Topeka podcast.
Don't miss one.
Let's go. We'll see y'all next time. Always love and peace.
From my city, say we made. Throw them T's way up in the sky. From the north, south, west to the east side. Topcity. I love Topeka, baby.